Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily. Today we are going to be doing the spooky book tag. The original creator of this was The Book Pusher, but I believe she actually took this video down. I just wanted to let you guys know that they created the tag, so go check out their channel if you want to, and let's get right into the tag. Question 1, Corn Maze. What book had you confused and lost from the very beginning? Immediately this book came to mind because the whole time throughout this book I was like, what is even the point? Because it doesn't really have a plot, and that is Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what the book was about anymore. I think it's like the girl goes to this like really hard to get into school, and weird things are happening, and they have this chant, and I don't know, it's just so weird, and I did not like it at all. But if you like weird, unexplained books, then that one's for you. But that one definitely had me confused throughout the whole thing. So I was like, what is happening? Is there even a freaking point to this book? Like, what? What was the point? I just wasted precious time on a book that makes no sense to me. Moving on to number 2 is Haunted House. What book has the creepiest setting? And I've probably mentioned this book series a few times now, but I definitely think that it has some creepy settings, and that is Lockwood & Co. by Jonathan Stroud, the first one being The Screaming Staircase. So the characters in this go to different places to help get rid of these hauntings, these ghosts and apparitions and stuff going on, and just the atmosphere of these and like the way that the ghosts are described, like, oh, it's so good and it's so creepy, and it takes place in like London back in history, back in time, and really enjoy this series. But definitely if you like creepy settings, I would check this book out. They are middle grade horror, I believe, so not too bad, but still a little creepy. On to question number 3, Ghost Boyfriend. Who is your eternal book boyfriend? I have so many, I can't keep count, but my top one would probably be, so here I have the Havoc series, and I love Vic. He is one of my favorite like boyfriend characters. It's a dark romance series. I love it. I love Vic. Like, just his whole aesthetic and attitude. I just love it. Number 4, Caramel Apple Suckers. Best dang Halloween book ever. For this, I'm gonna go with Coraline because I love Coraline. I originally watched the movie first, but I recently, I think it was like 2 years ago or so, I read Coraline, and I loved it. I love this story. So different and unique and creepy and atmospheric, and whether I'm watching it or I'm reading it, it's always around October, spooky season, Halloween time, so I will have to go with that book. Number 5 is Vampires and Everything. What is your least favorite Halloween trope? Okay, so anyone else get frustrated when you can see like a mile away something that the character should not do, but they're gonna do it? Like the obvious stupid decisions. Like, I hate those sometimes. Like, make my character just a little bit more smart and more realistic, because I see something, I'm not gonna go into it like, oh, there's a spooky house, let's go into it. No, let's go back home, maybe stop and get something to eat on the way, and go watch a movie. Like, just stay away from the house. Number 6, Pumpkin and Everything, your favorite Halloween tropes. So I have 2 here. Some of them are just normal tropes. Like, I love the found family kind of thing, and I also love the we're in this together, and also when you get like a group of people in one setting and then creepy things start happening. I just love that. It's so interesting because it's like you're counting down like who's gonna be next, and I just love those. Number 7 is Evil Incarnate, the most evil villain. And I had such a hard time with this because obviously there are so many good ones, but the one that I could think of off the top of my head that I really hated was the villain from Throne of Glass in the later books. If you know, you know, but I just hated this villain so much, and like some of the stuff they did was just so horrible. I mean, obviously I have other ones, but that one was like the first one that came to my mind, and I was like, yes. Number 8 is Ouija board, a book that messes with things that you don't want to be involved in. So anything with like the devil, exorcisms, just Ouija boards, like, no, thank you. I don't want to mess with those. So like my best friend's exorcism, which I haven't read, is actually over here. So my best friend's exorcism by Grady Hendrix. Obviously there's got to be some kind of exorcism in here. I don't want anything to do with something like that. I hate them. I hated seeing The Exorcist. Those things freak me out. Anything with the paranormal, I love watching things like that. Not The Exorcism though, or The Grudge. No, those two aren't for me. But like paranormal stuff is so interesting to me, but it creeps me the fuck out. Like, cause that stuff is real in my opinion. Like, I just don't want anything to do with that, especially like any demons or anything. No, thank you. Another book that I also want to read really soon is The Devil Makes 3. I really want to get to this, but it also deals with like letting the devil out or a demon out and having to put it back in. So, you know, we don't do that here. Number 9 is Full Moon. What character do you turn into on the full moon? So I have a couple. I have Feyre from the ACOTAR series, Aelin from the Throne of Glass series, Bernie from Havoc. I have Cassie from The Naturals. I have Oleander down from Broken Bonds, and I have Delaney, and she is actually from a lesser known series. It's called Amid Stars and Darkness by Chani Feener. It's back there. I'm not getting it. It's behind some things. So, but one of those characters, I would love to turn into one of them. Number 10 is All Hallows Eve. The other world and this world have meshed for one night. What book world would you love to be swept up into? So a lot of the books I read, I love reading about their worlds, but most of them you don't want to even be a part in. So I thought maybe Prithia, just because I would love to see the Autumn Court and the Night Court. Those are my two favorite, I think. But obviously after the events of the book, at least. And also The World of Roar by Cora Carmack. All the storms that kind of have like personalities like those. Dangerous, but I feel like they would be really neat to see. So I'm gonna go with those two, even though there's probably more, but we're just gonna go with those ones. Number 11 is Voodoo Doll. What author would you love to take control of and make them write you anything you want? So I'm gonna be honest, it would probably be Sarah J Maas. She's one of my favorite authors, and her writing is so good, and I'm always like captivated by her characters, and I just love the story she tells, so I'm gonna pick her. Number 12 is Black Cat. What red flags do you look for when starting out in a book? So I hate love triangles. It's not like I wouldn't ever read them, but I just don't like them that much, especially because usually there's one person that I really want to be the main love interest, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and I really don't like that. Also, friends to lovers. I'm not a big friends to lovers thing. It's like, give me enemies to lovers any day. I love that. But friends to lovers is not my thing. I will read it, but it's not my favorite. Last one would probably be Death of Children, just because I have my own children. Anything with death of children is obviously very sad, but if I can avoid it for the most part, then I will. Number 13, which is our final question. Witch's Brew, a book that had a lot of different components thrown in, but the result was magical. I'm gonna go with Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Throughout this whole book, I feel like we would get so far and then it would switch it up on us and move on to something else, but you still had questions for this other thing, and then you would again do the same thing with this next thing, and on, and then finally things would start to like be made clear, and there was just so much, but there's so many trigger warnings for this book too, but it was so good. And I found myself like really loving it after really figuring out, because at first I was confused, but as we went on, it got better and better for me. And like things that you were finding out that you've been like waiting for from the beginning, you found out towards the end some of the things, and I just loved this. I think that this one had so many different things in it, and I really want the next one. Okay, so that was the spooky book tag. I hope you enjoyed. Like this video if you liked it, and comment down below any of your favorite spooky reads, and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you again next time. Bye.